Welcome you in for another Conejo Oaks contest. Austin Gregory alongside Josh Mechanick and Sammy Holiday. And the Oaks look to bounce back after 4 straight losses. Haven't won a game since they played the team that they're hosting today when the team visited the San Luis Obispo Blues a week ago. And they look to bounce back. On the mound for the Oaks today is going to be Garrett Clarke. What have we seen from Clarke so far this season, Josh?
Yeah, so for Clarke, he's actually turned in the longest outing of the season for an Oaks pitcher, going 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs against the Blues in his last start. For Clarke, that was his second outing of the season. We've seen 2 efficient outings from him, and he'll look to break that losing streak and play closer for the Oaks today.
And for the Oaks, the lineup that surrounds Clarke behind the dish is going to be Brendan Durfee. Durfee, the catcher today. The rest of the defense, first baseman will be Tyler Ganus. The second baseman, Jack Brooks. The shortstop, Gavin Grant. So 3 Oregon Ducks right there. And then A.J. Salgado, one of the top bats for the Oaks, will be at third. And then in the outfield, left to right, left field is Josiah Chavez, Austin Carrillo, of course, in center field, and Charles Masino will start for the first time in right field after starting in left and at third base as Clarke delivers strike 1 to Connor McGuire, the leadoff hitter today, the third baseman for the Blues. That one shot back up the middle. Grant can't get to it, so it's going to be a leadoff base knock on a slow warm burner from McGuire.
Yeah, for McGuire, he played his college ball back in the spring at UC Irvine, in which he didn't get too many starts, but got a fair amount of playing time. He hit about 160, so he struggled a bit offensively, but we saw some really good defense from McGuire over there at third base.
CJ Maciel will step in the box now. The shortstop today for the Blues.
Just the 4th hit of the summer for Connor McGuire.
It's Clarke with another first pitch strike to Maciel this time. Maciel hitting .280 in CCL play through 7 games. Tied for second in total at-bats on the Blues right now. Clarke paints the outside corner with a fastball for strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Maciel.
Maciel played his college ball at California Baptist University, in which he hit .270 and had an OPS over 800, so it was a productive spring for him.
Clarke delivers the 0-2, and the fastball misses away there.
We've seen Clarke try to establish the fastball, as the only breaking ball that he's thrown today was the hit that McGuire shot back up the middle.
That one's fouled back as Maciel on top of that one. Chop it back and I'll roll to the backstop. 1-2 still remains the count. Clarke delivers. That one's fouled away, as just getting to that one was Maciel, as he was tardy on that one.
Once again, another fastball there from Clarke, trying to get the swing and miss.
Clarke goes off speed, and it's foul tipped, squeezed there by Brendan Durfee for out number 1.
Yeah, for Clarke, after throwing 6 fastballs in his first 7 pitches, he goes with the breaking ball to Maciel to get him swinging.
For Durfee, this is actually his first start behind home plate since that game at the Blues last week. He's come in as a pinch hitter and defensive replacement a few times since, but his first start since then. Clarke doesn't get the first pitch strike, as first pitch fastball just slips away a little bit. Durfee able to squeeze it with Nathan Shamela in the box now, designated hitter today for the Blues.
Yeah, Shamela's had a hot start to the summer, hitting almost 400 Hasn't played as many games as some of these other Blues hitters, but he's done well.
I'll drive that one out to shallow right field. That one's going to drop in front of Masino. He'll barehand grab it off the one bounces. That one was just kind of looped off the end of the bat and drops in for a single there for Shamela off the end of his bat. Just an unlucky there. One there for Clarke as it's a good pitch in a good spot, and Shamela kind of just flails his bat at it and ends up dropping in for a single, which now brings Zach Tolia to the plate, the first baseman today.
Yeah, Tolia has been the best hitter for the Blues this summer, playing in almost every single game and hitting nearly 500, leading the team in RBIs as well as 2 home runs.
Clarke goes first pitch off speed that time and gets Tolia out in front of that one for strike one.
And 3, you said? Okay.
Clarke delivers the fastball. Tardy there is Tolia as he fouls that one out into the parking lot. 0-2 count now to him. Tolia just finished up a spring season at University of Utah. As Josh mentioned, he's been the top hitter for the Blues as Clarke will check on McGuire at second there. Clarke delivers the 0-2. He gets the swing and a miss. Going off speed and fooled Tolia as he was lunging at it. He's just out in front of that one. We'll see Tolia going to tell Gallegos, who steps in the box, and Kreitzman, who's now on deck, about the pitch that just fooled him as he struck out on 3 pitches against Clarke, and now has 2 strikeouts this inning already. Gallegos, the catcher today. He was the catcher last week when the Oaks visited the Blues. As Clarke drops another first pitch strike in there.
Yeah, it's been a good start to the summer for Gallegos, hitting almost 400 as well. And they got 2 catchers in the lineup with Shemaya at DH because of how productive their bats have been from behind the plate.
That one shot and gets past the diving effort from Ganus. Will send McGuire home. The throw from Masino is in time, but getting in there as it was just up the line is McGuire. And again, just what seemed like it could have been the ground ball to get out of it just takes a weird hop and gets by Ganus, as these hops at the different fields have been haunting the Oaks as of late.
Yeah, that's twice that Clarke's gotten unlucky with a little fister where he's gotten in on the hands of the hitter, and they've just shot one into right field.
So now runners on first and third, 1 run across. And Kreitzman steps in, who put one over the wall against Clarke last time, as there's a little mistake pitch after some unfortunate bounces again for Clarke.
For Kreitzman, that home run was actually just one of 2 hits this summer. He's got a home run and a triple.
Yeah, and that home run followed an error by Gavin Grant to lead off the inning. 2-0 now, and so Clarke in that at bat had to go from what should have been 1 out, nobody on, and now he has to go from having what could have been no runs allowed to having 1 run allowed and 2 runners on with Kreitzman, who just foul tipped that one into the glove of Durfee.
It's also such an unfortunate thing for a pitcher, too, because those jam shot hits are hits. They're not errors, so that does go against your ERA.
2-1 the count now from Clarke. He pulls the string, and nice pitch there as the breaking ball drops in for strike 2.
Yeah, Clarke's done a nice job with the breaking ball, not only throwing it for strikes, landing it for a strike like that, but also getting chases. And he's gotten 2 strikeouts with it today.
2-2 count. Clarke delivers. That one jams Kreitzman as he just fights that one off his hands, foul down the third base line. Yet to see any movement from Gallegos over at first. He's yet to attempt a stolen base. Obviously, we know the arm that's behind the plate, and Brendan Durfee can easily gun down Gallegos. 2-2 delivery. Gallegos goes. Clarke steps off. He's got Gallegos picked off in a rundown. Runner coming home. He's in there.
So that's the first and third play that was run there by the Blues was a leave early, and it was executed perfectly on the offensive end as Gallegos did a nice job of getting in the rundown and forcing Grant to give it up to Ganus, and the second Ganus gave it up, we saw Shamaya break towards the plate, which is exactly how you're taught to do it. And unfortunately for the Oaks, they just didn't play catch quick enough.
Yeah, and that one's going to be tough as Durfee definitely thought he got the tag down. He did a good job of being in front of the plate, and the tag just comes in high as it got him up around the stomach chest area as Shamela is able to get in there on the delayed steal, trick play first and third. So now 2 runs in, 2 out. Clarke delivers that one in there for strike 3. The umpire not aware of the count there, so he just ruled a normal strike. There's obviously some confusion following the play at the plate. So 2 runs come across for the Blues as the Oaks got to lead the chase now, and it's going to be Cameron maybe on the mound for the Blues. And Josh, what has maybe done so far this summer for the Blues?
Well, maybe had his best start of the summer, his last outing actually, in which he went 5 innings, picked up the win, allowing just 3 runs, and that was after he went an inning and 2/3 shutout out of the bullpen. So Cameron maybe has been one of the go-to arms this summer for the Blues, and they're going to look to ride him today as the Blues and the Oaks are both tied for 3rd in the CCL. Blues trying to get a game up.
We'll be back when Gannis steps into the box. Welcome you back now, and I want to get you guys back early before Tyler Gannis starts walking to the plate, because he's going to be in for a little bit of a surprise when he comes to the plate here. I just want to see what his reaction is when he hears his walk-up song.
Tyler's really locked in because he's not reacting. Austin, would you like to explain?
Yeah, so one of the theories for head coach David Solis is following a little bit of a slide, switch up the walk-up songs and start playing Disney songs. So all the guys are going to have Disney walk-up songs today. As Ganus scores the bunt, first pitch, we've seen a couple times. They'll foul that one away, but so we're going to see Disney songs for the walk-up songs today. So Tyler Ganus, as we mentioned, the most interesting man in the world. He had a voiceover role, small role in Monsters University, so I helped with the walk-up song selections today, and so I thought it might be a good laugh for Tyler when he walks up to the plate and hears a song from a movie he was in.
Yeah, but for Tyler, he's just so locked in at the plate that he didn't even acknowledge the music. He's hitting almost 600 this summer since joining the Oaks last week.
Yeah, and probably interesting for Tyler not hearing his own walk-up song that he's used to. 1-1 count to him now, 2-1 after the fastball misses away there from maybe.
I mean, if we see the first 0 day of the summer for Tyler Ganus, it's definitely because he's not hearing his own voice blast through those speakers, as he's gotten a hit in each and every game he's appeared in this summer. And that continues.
Suck on that, Josh. It's a leadoff double for Tyler Ganus.
It's a great swing there from Tyler Ganus. That fastball is on the outer half, and he just looped it over there to shallow center. It would have just been a single, but making a diving effort out there was Aiden Anderson, who was unable to come up with it.
Tyler just told you to eat your own words there. And so now Austin Carrillo steps to the plate.
What did I say to make him eat?
You said he was going to go 0 for not having his own walk-up song.
If he went 0 for, you were to blame. But I mean, it was a great swing. Tyler Ganus doesn't have 0 for days.
Austin Carrillo steps in now, one of the other hot bats for the Oaks. This will be, I believe, the first game that he's started in, not in the leadoff spot.
He hit third one game.
Then maybe his second game, but we've seen the magic that he did leading off, but Tyler Ganus does just as well leading off, so this is quite the 1-2 punch to have at the top of the order for the Oaks. As Carrillo fouls that one away. 1-1 count to him now.
Yeah, it is a great 1-2 punch. Two guys who have shown us a great ability to get on base this summer, with both Ganus and Carrillo having a lot of multi-hit games. For Carrillo coming off a game in which he reached base 4 times.
Yeah, 3 walks. He also stole 4 bases. So I'll roll over that one to the right side. So it'll be a ground out and unofficial sacrifice as it moves Ganus over the third. So now Gavin Grant just has to find the ball into the outfield, and it'll likely score Tyler Ganus.
Yeah, it's a really productive at-bat there from Austin Carrillo. Even though he moves down from the 1 spot to the 2 spot, he's still great at just doing exactly what he needs to do. And with the leadoff double from Ganus, Carrillo knows just has to get one over to the right side to get him over, so Grant can get him in.
That one misses away to Grant. Yeah, and like Josh was saying, those two guys know what they're doing. They just can put the ball in play. Between Ganus and Carrillo, they have combined over 40 at-bats. Only 3 total strikeouts between the two of them. As Grant will look at strike 1. Grant still looking to get his bat going a little bit.
He had the big RBI double to tie up Wednesday's ball game.
Just a little tardy on that one is Grant. So 1-2 count to him now. Grant coming off a great spring up north with the Ducks in Oregon.
And now he's trying to hit in his fellow Duck over there on third base.
Yeah, the Duck is trying to knock his fellow Duck, who is a duck on the pond, in. 2-2 count now to Grant. Big RBI opportunity here for him. Brendan Durfee waits on deck. Grant shoots that one out to right center. Nice grab out there. It'll be a sacrifice RBI on the sac fly from Gavin Grant.
It's a great swing there from Gavin Grant, especially with 2 strikes and a runner on third. Just not trying to do too much there and just driving it into right center. And it was way more than deep enough to get the job done. And it could have been extra bases, but he got a hit taken away from him from Aiden Anderson.
Yeah, Aiden Anderson was playing pretty shallow out there in center field, but he's got obviously the quick enough speed to get under that one, but barely just getting that one as it was a full extension grab for him, extending his arm all the way out to get to that one. And Brendan Durfee steps in now. As we mentioned, Durfee's been playing quite a bit lately, but has not started since the win against the Blues. Still kind of a revolving door of catchers right now. So foul tip that one into the glove for strike 1.
And I'm not sure if Garrett Clarke got hurt or anything, or if Cody Carson is out there in the bullpen doing just extra work, but there's already action down in the Oaks bullpen.
So Durfee fouls that one back, and my guess is just going to be that it's Carson just getting a feel, getting back into the rhythms. He just joined the roster on Wednesday, so probably just getting bullpens in when he can, as I'm presuming he hasn't pitched since his JUCO season finished this past spring with Moore Park College. It's Durfee, broken bat, single. So he'll trade the bat for a base knock. He'll probably be upset about that one, as it's really snapped there. You can see the handle is just completely bent in half. Third baseman, number 21, Salgado. That one will become firewood. It's AJ Salgado, another hot bat, steps into the box for the Oaks.
Well, after a couple loop singles for the Blues in the top half, it's only fair that the Oaks get the broken bat knock from Durfee.
Yeah, and I mean, take what you can with the Oaks not getting breaks as of late. We'll check on Durfee. He dives back in safely. I think the players are not fans of the Disney walk-up song so far, because I've not seen these guys walk into the box as fast as they are today all summer long. Salgado will take one upstairs.
Trying to quiet the music as quick as possible. Salgado's hitting over 500 this summer, leading CCL in average.
Just got pump faked by a sneeze. Thought it was coming, didn't happen. Yeah, and I mean, the one person I was surprised by so far walking in the box is Carrillo, because during the Cal season this past spring, we clocked him at over 15 seconds coming into the box. 3-0 to Salgado. Got to imagine he's looking at that one, as that one gets the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
It's surprising to see AJ Salgado this far down in lineup. Of course, 5 isn't down in it by any stretch, but Salgado is just such a great start to the summer. You want to get him as many at-bats as possible.
So work a walk there, and yeah, it's just probably part of the effort of trying to figure out a lineup that's going to win games and keeping that balance, because, you know, you don't want to stack too many lefties in a row, obviously. Hynek likes my song.
He likes our song.
I'm proud of myself on that one. Finally get a smile as Hynek has to listen to his song, because we saw the mound visit there as Gallegos goes to talk to maybe. And I was trying to think, I was like, what Disney song could potentially have some southern twang for our Georgia boy? But then I was like, you know what? He's not super familiar with California. I believe I read something after this morning. This is actually his first time coming to California this summer. And I was like, why not give him a little Into the Unknown? It's a great song, and we see a big smile finally from somebody about the walk-up song. And Colin Hynek and Brendan Durfee, both a part of the catching slew, and both very talented catchers. Hynek takes that one away.
Yeah, speaking of, the two of them actually have 2 of the 3 homers for the Oaks this summer. So, like Austin mentioned, a deep catching group, but they got some pop.
Yeah, Hynek's still waiting to get credited properly with his home run, as it wasn't given to him in slow, as that one Gets the outside part of the plate. Yeah, Hynek came in defensively at first for Carliner in that game. He leans out of the way inside of that one. And Hynek really provided a nice insurance run in that game. It started the inching back was the Blues, who put up a 2 spot in the 7th, but then Colin Hynek silenced things quickly when he just blasted a baseball to left center field in the 8th. And that one, 2-2 to him now. So foul that one back. So go off the foot of Gallegos.
It's a good win there from Hynek, as maybe went with the breaking ball to get the chase, and Hynek was able to just stay alive and get a piece of it.
Yeah, and already a lot of pitches here from Maybe in this first inning. He delivers to Hynek. Pops that one foul towards the slow bus, and he'll nail it.
And you mentioned, Austin, that maybe he's thrown a lot of pitches. For him, this is already going to be pitch number 24 of the first inning.
Yeah, he had quick at-bats against Ganus, who he threw 4 pitches to, and only 3 to Carrillo, and then Grant worked along at-bat before the sac fly, Durfee along at-bat before the single. Hynek will foul that one back. Salgado, the 5-pitch walk, and now Hynek. I believe this will be the 6th or 7th pitch of this at-bat.
Yeah, Hynek's already seen 6 pitches.
So we'll see how long maybe he's able to stay in this game. Creeping towards 30 pitches already in this first inning.
He's actually at 27 now.
So Hynek will foul that one back. Hynek just missing these pitches.
Yeah, really good at bat turned in from Hynek. He's already fouled off 3 since being behind 2-2.
Yeah, and I believe this is one of Hynek's new bats. When we were in Santa Barbara for the no stream game, his dad brought a box of, I think, 2 or 3 new bats to him. So we'll see if he can get it going with this one, as he looks at a fastball up, the count now full. Obviously runners will be in motion now. Durfee on second, Salgado on first, and a ball into the gap will probably score both, because we know Salgado has that speed despite being the size that he is. Hynek hits that one a mile high. Could be a tough play. Gallegos squeezes it. Gallegos drifting back on that one. He lunges backwards over his back, lands on his mask, and just holds it going down to the ground. So only one run ends up coming across for the Oaks in what was a very long half inning for their bats. But Garrett Clarke will be coming back out to the mound for the top of the second, with the bottom third of the order due up for the Blues. We'll be back.
Aiden Anderson will lead things off here in the top half of the second inning for the Blues, and he made a really nice defensive play out there in center field to take away an extra base hit from Gavin Grant in the bottom of the first. As Garrett Clarke is back out there for another inning. He gave up a couple in the first, but it was a really unlucky inning, so he should be happy with where he's at. He looked good. That one's ripped to left. It'll be a hit. Leadoff single here to begin the second for Aiden Anderson, who continues his hot start to the summer. And that brings up the left fielder, Garrett Brooks. This is the hardest hit ball of the day today for the Blues, even though they already have 4 hits.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it, Josh. Before the game, we noticed that it said 6 innings pitched for Clarke, and I thought about it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Rivas has the longest outing at 5 innings. And I don't know what happened in SLO, but Clarke only pitched 3 innings in that outing. So we know Hynek didn't get his home run. We know now wrong number of innings for Clarke. We know Sulak didn't get his RBI single, so maybe a little glimpse in the system or something for them.
Yeah, which is surprising for how nice everything else is there. Is that one just misses up off the outer half of the plate. Good spot from Clarke. For Brooks, it's been a tough start to the summer for him in CCL play. He's just 2 for 18 on the year, but he has only struck out 4 times, so he's been putting the ball in play. As that breaker drops in for a strike.
Yeah, Garrett Brooks just finished up his first year at University of Texas San Antonio. Not play this past spring, but as we mentioned, tough to get playing time at those top levels in the first year.
The 1-2 misses well upstairs. Anderson is 1 for 1 this summer in stolen base attempts, and that's just in CCL play. Overall, he's actually 2 for 3. And that 2-2 is ripped into right field. Masino won't get there, and it'll be back-to-back singles to begin the second inning.
And there's another unlucky break for Clarke because it's just another one that just comes off the bat and drops in to the emptiness in between the infield dirt and where the outfielders stand in the outfield.
And that brings up Darius Price, the starting second baseman. Struggling a bit as well this summer, sitting at about $150. We actually saw him in the 2 spot last week in Obispo, so his struggles have been noted by the coaching staff, dropping into the 9 spot in the order. With first and second, nobody out. Ganus is up on the infield grass, ready for a bunt. Not showing, and hitting it in the center field is Price. Carrillo won't get there. He dekes the runner, but still no chance to get him, and it's 3 straight singles, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, the first single by Anderson crushed to left. The single by Brooks hit decently hard to right field, and then it's just a bloop there from Price. So, again, it's just these soft contact balls that just keep falling, and we'll see if the outfield adjusts to it. Obviously, you don't want to play too shallow, but there's now been 4 singles that have dropped in front of the outfielders in only 1 inning, because there hasn't been technically 2. Obviously, no outs recorded yet here.
Yeah, just an inning plus, and Clarke's already given up 6 hits, but like Austin said, probably 4 of them have been pretty unlucky. Still, though, you don't love to see 6 hits up on the scoreboard with nobody out in the second, especially now with the top of the order up there and the bases juiced. It's a good spot there from Clarke to get ahead of McGuire 0-2. McGuire singled back in the first inning. It It was right back up the middle. Wasn't hit too hard, but hard enough to get by the glove of Gavin Grant. And here comes the 0-2 from Clarke. It'll miss.
Nice squeeze there by Durfee as he had to go all the way across his body to get that fastball, and he doesn't even move his body with it. He just goes all arm and snatches it up. Uses all inches of that tall 6'4" frame.
And we've already seen the Oaks surrender multiple runs this season on passed balls or wild pitches as McGuire goes down swinging.
Nice pitch there from Clarke as he's been doing a good job of locating his fastball for the most part today, and he gets McGuire tardy on that fastball.
Yeah, for Clarke, all 4 outs that he's picked up today have come via the strikeout, including this man, C.J. Maskiel, who was a strikeout victim in the first inning. And that one's in there for a strike as well.
Yeah, Clarke's been doing a good job of getting first pitch strikes for the most part, whether it's the fastball, which he's doubled up on first pitch strikes to Maciel and the 2 at-bats he's had, or we just saw against McGuire, he went first pitch slider and dropped that in.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job of mixing it up between the breaking ball and the fastball to start batters off. As that one's fouled away, 0-2 now. Back-to-back breaking balls to begin the at-bat for Clarke to get Maskiel in the 0-2 hole. And that one's grounded softly to short. Salgado cuts it off, and he gets the force out at second, but a run does come in to score. I'm sure in that situation that Clarke is happy to trade the out for the run, and the Blues double their lead up to 3-1.
Yeah, and just another unlucky break for Clarke. It's another soft hit ball that if that ball is hit at a good speed, that's right into the hands of Gavin Grant for an inning-ending double play ball, but instead it's AJ Salgado coming all the way across the infield dirt and just flipping it to Jack Brooks at second just to get at least 1 out.
Yeah, very rarely do you see an underhand toss from a third baseman to a second baseman, but in that situation it happened as Nathan Chamela is up now with first and third and 2 away. He picked up a single. It was a little jam shot hit over first, but he came around to score as well. It's kind of even 1-1.
As Josh mentioned, in Chamela's first at-bat, he's off to a solid start this summer with his limited playing time. Only played in 4 games so far this spring compared to some of his teammates who have played 5, 6, all the way up to 8 games. Only 13 at-bats, but he's done a good job hitting .385.
He swings through that one, 1-2.
Which at the moment is up above .385 because he had a base knock in his first at-bat on that blooper to right to Masino. And this is the same situation we saw with first and third, 2 outs last inning.
As he gets the swing and miss there, no need to appeal to first. Gets the sword, and that'll retire the side. We head to the bottom of the second inning with the Oaks trailing 3-1. The Oaks trail 3-1 here in the bottom of the second inning, with Charles Masino leading things off. Cameron Mabie's back out there for the Blues after a 30-pitch first inning. Luckily enough for him, he only surrendered the 1 run.
And Masino hasn't played as many games as some of the other guys, but in his 4 games, he's hitting .500.
And he pops that one up in foul territory on the left side. McGuire is there for out number 1. Quick pop up there for Masino, and for maybe a big 2-pitch out, not having at bat less than 3 pitches in the first, an inning in which he threw 30. And that brings up Josiah Chavez. Chavez takes a strike at the knees.
Chavez is really starting to establish himself as an everyday player for the Oaks so far this season, coming off his spring at Cal Baptist, played in 35 games, they're 12. That's an incredible take right there from Chavez, even only a 1 count.
Yeah, that was a good spot there. Chavez takes another strike on the inner half, 1-2 now.
I'm being honest, I thought that last pitch that was ruled ball 1 was a strike, and I thought that pitch was a ball, so it may have been a make-up call right there.
Yeah, it evens out as the 1-2 comes in. As Chavez rolls that over to second. Price is there, and he'll throw Chavez out for out number 2. Two up, 2 down quickly here on 6 pitches for the Oaks in the second inning. And that brings up Jack Brooks. Colin Hynek, after one time through the order, becomes the only player to acknowledge the Disney walk-up song.
I do have to correct you on that, because I was just about to say Carrillo. I was watching Carrillo and Ganus. They were just laughing to each other and smiling about the song. So I know they're having a laugh about it now.
Good, they should. Hopefully it'll turn things around as Brooks hits that one back up the middle. Price makes a diving stop, no throw. Because it sounded like we had some Disney music playing in the middle of that at bat.
Definitely going to talk to Tyler about the game, about how he feels about my song selection for him. Also, I don't know if I've ever seen a third base coach stand as far down the line as Cody Raymer is standing right now.
Raymer will camp out there until there is a runner on third base or second base. He will go as far back as the dugout and just talk to the players. As Ganus is 2 for 2 to begin his day. Holding at second is Brooks, as the Oaks have 2 on with Austin Carrillo coming up.
Yeah, no, with Raymer being so far back, I saw Brooks look to where the coach's box was, and all of a sudden be like, where is Raymer at? As he was trying to know if he should head to third there or not, but stays put, and Tyler Gannis' impressive start just continues.
Yeah, Gannis has picked up multiple hits in every game he started but one, I believe. He's had 2 games in which he's had less than 2 hits, and they were both 1 for 3 days in which he walked. So he's been on base multiple times every game as Carrillo is ahead 1-0.
Yeah, he broke up the perfect game the Foresters had against the Oaks on his birthday last weekend. So it was obviously a tough game for your birthday, but he said to me on the bus, I would remember that one forever. There was a perfect game thrown against me on my birthday.
As Carrillo shoots that one to shallow center, on the run and making the catch is Anderson to end the threat here in the second inning. So the Oaks strand a couple of base runners, and they still trail 3-1 as we head to the third inning.
So we welcome you back. Top three now as it's Tolia who steps in. He struck out swinging against Clarke back in the first as Clarke just misses with the first pitch slider upstairs to Tolia as Tolia just holds his hands on that one. Clarke already struck out 5 guys of the 6 outs that he's recorded. 6 hits, 3 runs up to this point. To go slider again, that one misses up, and just been some unlucky breaks. Once again, there's soft hit ground balls in the infield allow a run to score. A blooper, 3 bloopers to the outfield, result in base hits. That one's fouled back on the fastball, 2-1 the count now. And I talked to Rivas today before the game, and he said to me, because I told him that only one of the 5 runs he surrendered against Orange County was earned, and he said, "You serious?" I go, "Yeah." That one's fouled away, and I go, "Do you know what the one run was?" And he goes, "No." I go, "Oh, that would be the tailor-made double play ball that just somehow miraculously bounced over the head of Jack Brooks that resulted in a single." So it's just stuff like that for the Oaks so far in this losing streak that just have not gone their way whatsoever.
Yeah, it has been an unlucky stretch for the Oaks during these 4 games. We've seen them lose 1-run ball games in which they were in the whole time. And just even yesterday, the game ended on the diving catch in the outfield with the tying run on base. So it's just been stuff like that that's haunted the Oaks during this 4 games.
Yeah, Wednesday's game was a rough ending. That diving catch in left, runners on first and second, as Josh said. It just can't catch a break. And Clarke misses upstairs with the fastball. We saw Durfee go out there to talk with Clarke. I don't know if they're just trying to get on the same page with the signs.
Yeah, that's probably what it is to begin this inning.
Nice pitch there from Clarke, and I was just thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of the fastball and the slider from Clarke, haven't seen the changeup yet, and there he goes with the changeup on the 3-2 count to Tolia, and he gets his 6th strikeout of the game as he gets Tolia chasing one downstairs. Brings Gallegos in, and Gallegos had an RBI single back in the first, and then he had that delayed steal from first that resulted in Shamela coming in as slider from, I think that was a slider from Clarke, just misses away. So foul that one back towards the slow bus. I didn't see where that one landed, so maybe it got on the roof of Force Fitness Center behind us. That one's fouled back too by Gallegos. 1-2 count now to him.
Clarke's done a nice job of establishing that fastball, not only on the outer half, but up as well, getting the chase. But getting it on the outer half is big because it establishes that off-speed pitch and makes it easier for guys to chase.
Gallegos fouls that one back. That one off the side of the building. 1-2 count remains the count as Gallegos keeps battling off pitches on the fastballs here. So we'll see if Clarke goes off speed to try and get Gallegos, or if he goes fastball again to cross him up. Goes fastball. That one's nubbed over to the right side. Rolling. Clarke gets there. He flips at the first for out number 2.
Yeah, Clarke went with the 1-2 breaker there that was off the knob of the bat, or the end of the bat for Gallegos. Just great pitch from Clarke once again after 3 straight fastballs, just changing up the eye level and the timing of the hitter. And that time he wasn't able to get the strikeout, but the weak contact from Gallegos.
So E.J. Kreitzman steps in now. He struck out looking to end the first. So that one just misses away. First pitch fastball. The 2-2 count to Kreitzman when that delayed steal play had happened. And he struck out on a fastball on the very next pitch. But now he's ahead of the count 2-0 here.
Clarke's had an efficient inning so far. He doesn't want to fall into this 3-0 hole here to Kreitzman.
He'll get a fastball in there for strike one.
For Clarke, he threw 20 pitches in each of the first 2 innings, so looking to get a quick inning here.
He misses away there. 3-1 the count now to Kreitzman. Kreitzman fouls that one back over the left side. Count now full to him.
With this 3-2 to Kreitzman, Clarke's got a lot of options. He already struck him out on a backdoor slider, and he's already established a lot of inside fastballs to lefties, so he's got a lot of options here.
That one's fouled back and swung and squeezed by Durfee as it's a 1-2-3 inning for Clarke, so he gets that quick inning, and now it's 7 strikeouts through 3 innings for Clarke. Oaks come to bat, bottom 3 with the heart of the order due up: Grant, Durfee, Salgado. Welcome you back now. May have just gotten a report, guys, that the guys aren't super big fans of their walk-up songs, but
Too bad.
Coach wants them to win a gosh dang ball game.
Yeah.
Gavin Grant steps in now. He had the RBI sac fly for the only run so far in the game for the Oaks.
I personally am a fan of Gavin Grant's walk-up song, Let It Go, from Frozen.
Thought it was fitting for him. Squares to bunt, pops it up. Thought it was coming right to us there.
We were ready for that. That was all you, Austin.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have gotten to us, hit the covering above us, or just dropped straight down and hit Cam in the head in front of us.
Well, Cam would have caught it because Cam's reflexes.
He did become a PO in his senior year, so I don't know how great the reflexes are anymore. Grant will take that one downstairs. 2-1 count now to Grant. Grant had a great at-bat in his first one. As he looks at strike 2 down the heart of the plate. He was pretty much actually robbed of extra base hits as it was full extension from the arm from Aiden Anderson in center as Grant fouls that one back. So another soon-to-be 6-pitch minimum at-bat for Grant. As that's what we've seen him do. Hasn't obviously had the success he's wanted at the plate, but he's done a good job of working counts and doing his job in the dish. So rip that one to the shortstop. So it's a hard hit ball, and again, just another unlucky break.
Yeah, Gavin Grant really just can't catch a break up there. He's just continuing to have quality at-bats, 5, 6+ pitch at-bats, in which he'll end up crushing a baseball right to somebody.
Brendan Durfee steps in now. He had the broken bat single in his first at-bat, and then he was stranded at second. He'll get jammed there and shoot that one to third, eating up the third baseman. He'll be retired. Durfee just eaten up by that pitch inside as it fights off his hands. As that one almost could have been a broken bat again, but fumbling it was Connor McGuire originally, but McGuire able to gather it and fire it to first.
Because of where that pitch was that got it on his hands and because of the way Durfee hit the ball, that had weird spin going to third base, which is what caused it to bounce out of the glove of McGuire.
Salgado looks at the first pitch slider on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Salgado worked a 5-pitch walk in his first at-bat and stranded at first after that. So fastball misses downstairs, 1-1 to him now. The only guy that we have physical evidence of liking his walk-ups on, Colin Hynek, stands on deck as the slider outside the Salgado misses. Salgado will look at ball 3 on the fastball away. Another 3-1 count to him now. He'll crush that one up the middle for a base knock.
I mean, AJ Salgado seems like picks up a hit in just about every game that he plays in, as that ball was laced back up the middle.
Yes, Salgado has a pretty long streak of getting on base right now. Hynek steps in now. So look at a fastball on the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
Yeah, we got that streak at 8 games for Salgado. He's reached base in all 8 games that he's had a plate appearance in. Even a pinch hit up out where he walked.
Hynek crushes that one down the left field line. I'll drop in. Salgado round second. He'll head to third, and they'll send him home as it gets past the left fielder. It's going to be an RBI double for Colin Hynek.
That's a great piece of hitting there from Colin Hynek, as that fastball looked like it could have gotten in on his hands, but he did a great job of pulling them inside and keeping the ball fair. And
Hynek might really need to think about changing his walk-up song permanently.
yeah, you should. We'll talk to him about it after the game. See what we can do.
Masino steps in now. He popped out to 1 the third.
For Hynek, we got a bone to pick with him, as we saw Hynek talking a little smack about the Dodgers with this Braves-Dodgers series this weekend, as Hynek, an Atlanta native, Braves fan, a lot of Dodger fans here. So Sammy, our cameraman, and Colin Hynek placed a little friendly wager on this weekend series.
I think I heard Hynek say that Freeman's going to go 0 for 12 this weekend, if I heard him correctly.
Got to hit his first at bat.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is already wrong. So Masino steps in now, as he'll roll over that one to second base. This Price will make the out to end the inning. So the Oaks drop the lead from 2-1, as we'll head to the top of the 4th. Garrett Clarke will come out for a 4th inning of work.
Garrett Clarke is back out there for his 4th inning of action as the Oaks trail on this one 3-2 to the Blues. 3rd inning was the first 1-2-3 inning of the day for Clarke, and the first inning in which the Blues didn't pick up a run. Picked up a couple of strikeouts there to give him 7 through 3. And he falls behind in the count 2-0 to the center fielder, Aiden Anderson.
And that last one was a good location there from Clarke, but just misses outside.
And he's going a couple breaking balls to start this at-bat after he saw Anderson pick on a fastball and rip it to left his last at-bat for a hit. But he's now fallen behind 3-0. That one's in there for a strike, 3-1 now. We've seen Anderson make a couple of nice plays out there in center field. Taking a hit away from Gavin Grant, taking an RBI possibly from Austin Carrillo as he walks to begin the 4th.
Yeah, a couple pitches that Clarke just missed on there. That last one just missing up with the fastball. The second pitch slider just missing away.
And that's the first walk of the afternoon for Clarke. And this inning starts just like the second inning did, with Anderson getting on base to lead things off. Brooks followed it up with a single last time. We saw him bobble a ball down in the corner in left field this past inning, which allowed the Oaks to score a run as that one's chopped to second. Brooks' only play is to first, and they'll pick up the first out.
I mean, again, just a ball that if it's hit normally is tailor-made 4-6-3 double play, but it just hit too soft, so all Brooks can do there is flip at the first to get one out.
Yeah, the contact that Clarke is getting is, you can even call it, just too weak. They're not hitting the ball hard enough to get the balls in the gap, but they're just hitting it soft enough to allow them to drop in these funky places. As Price takes a ball off the outside of the plate. He's singled back in the second inning as well. Little hit off the end of the bat, back up the middle.
Blooper again.
And he takes a 1-0 pitch for a strike.
And Price kind of hesitated to swing on that one as he seemed to think that it was going to be a ball, but it's ruled strike one.
So that one drops in, and it's going to stay above the zone. Misses 2-1.
And a good spot there from Clarke. Just misses up according to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, that one might have backed up on him just a little bit. Not able to get on top of it, get the break that he wanted, so it misses upstairs. That one shot foul. 2-2 now to Price. Anderson's got pretty good speed out there on second base. So a single here from Price could potentially score him, especially if it's a softly hit single like the ones the Blues have been hitting today. Here comes the 2-2. Big back pick to second. Got him. Beautiful pickoff move from Garrett Clarke and an even better tag from Jack Brooks to get the out.
Yeah, and I've been waiting for that. Anderson was getting real greedy, extending his lead off a second, and there was a couple pitches before in this at bat against Price where Jack Brooks left the hold early there, where I thought they could have gotten him, but they get him there with a beautiful move from Clarke.
And Clarke just misses outside, looking for the strikeout on the first pitch after the pickoff, and he just misses.
Beautiful pickoff move from Clarke.
As he walks Price.
Yeah, tried to go slider there to drop that one in against Price and didn't get enough of it, as didn't break fully as it stayed up.
That pickoff becomes even more important with that 2-out walk to Price. Instead of first and second and 1 away for the top of the order, just a runner on first with 2 down and Connor McGuire up there. McGuire singled in the first and struck out in the second. Take a pitch upstairs from Clarke.
So there's going to be 4 total pitchers right now in the bullpen for the Oaks, as Michael Stanford and Charlie Adamson just walked out there. I can't tell who else is out there at this moment, as they're sitting with their backs not visible to us.
That one's skied out of play to the right side. We got some long hair down there, and I already see Lucian Westberg in the dugout, so I think that might be Massimo Vega potentially.
We can rule out Wetchbury. We can rule out Gray, because I can see Gray over the fence next to the dugout.
The 1-1 home from Clarke. 1-2 now.
We know obviously Rivas probably isn't down there after his start on Wednesday. On Tuesday, my apologies. Waitman not down there.
See Lapina in the dugout as well. It's not him.
And I think Charlie Adamson's about to warm up. He's just waiting for a catcher to go down there. I see Crandall on the edge of the dugout. Sulak's on one part of the dugout as well. I don't think...
Nope, he's heading down there to go warm him up.
I don't think Hynek's warming him up as the designated hitter.
There's the 1-2 to Connor McGuire. Stays alive again. Not a great pitch there from Clarke. He tried to go with the breaking ball, but he left it up, and McGuire fouled it back. McGuire's done a nice job of battling here with Clarke. He fell behind 1-2, and since then he's already fouled off a couple pitches. That one catches the corner for a called strike 3. The 8th strikeout of the afternoon for Garrett Clarke, and he puts up another 0. We head to the bottom of the 4th with the Oaks trailing by 1.
He didn't say that they were winning.
Here comes Josiah Chavez to lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning, with the Oaks trailing 3-2. Chavez grounded out to second back in the 2nd inning. The Oaks trailed right away in this one, 2-0. They made it 2-1, scoring one in the bottom of the first, and the Blues took that run right back, going up 3-1, and the Oaks put up another in the bottom half of the third, cutting the lead to 3-2 as Josiah Chavez is behind the count now 1-2. Garrett Clarke's day might be done as Charlie Adamson is down there in the Oaks bullpen warming up, as Chavez is now even in the count 2-2.
Yeah, there's action in the Blues bullpen as well, so we'll see how long maybe goes here. It's a righty will try and get you a number.
As Chavez lifts that one out to straightaway center field. Settling under it is Anderson for out number 1.
That one sounded a lot nicer off the bat than it ended up being.
Yeah, that just was all barrel there from Chavez, but he just got under it and flew it straight up. Jack Brooks is now up there.
If my eyes saw it correctly, I believe it's Kevin Lyons out of Cal State Chico, or Chico State as normal people refer to it as, down in the bullpen.
They're hoping that maybe can get them through this. This will face Jack Brooks now. Nobody on and 1 out.
A nice base knock back up the middle for Brooks back in the second.
Yeah, Brooks has established himself as a really good defensive player in the middle infield, and he's been trying to get that bat coming around. We already know what he can do defensively, but for Brooks, he's got a knock in his first at-bat. Trying to pick up his second one here. He's behind in the count 1-2. And Brooks lifts that one to left field. That'll be his first multi-hit game of the summer as he drops that one in for his second single of the day.
Nice piece of hitting there from Brooks as he just goes with that one. Hits it the other way.
And here comes Tyler Ganus from Monsters University. He's already picked up 2 hits today, including a double back in the first, and scored the first run of the ball game for the Oaks. Just like last inning, he'll be up there with Brooks on first. First pitch to Ganus is taken up and in for a ball. We've talked about how the 1-2 punch of Tyler Ganus and Austin Carrillo don't strike out very much. They also like to swing at the first pitch, or at least the first pitch that they like, both aggressive hitters, and Ganus picked up his last hit on the first pitch. Carrillo's waiting on deck. Ganus fouls that one back.
Ganus just getting under that one.
Yeah, he didn't look very happy with himself with that miss, as it looked like he just missed it, just fouled it back. Brooks with an aggressive lead. He goes. The throw down in time to get him. Chase Gallegos hoses Jack Brooks. And now there are 2 away.
Yeah, great throw there from Chase Gallegos.
Yeah, it was a really tough pitch, too, to throw a guy out on. A good pitch to run on from Brooks, as it was a breaking ball that Gallegos had to reach across his body on, but he made a really nice throw. And it was really great dig out there and tag by Price. The count is now 3-1 on Ganus, as the pitch that was stolen on was ruled a ball. As Ganus chops that one to short, a really tough play and no chance over there for Masio as Ganus has his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Yeah, hard hit chopper that gets in the 5-6 hole, and it was going to be a tough play for Maciel out there, and Gannis's wheels allow him to get in with his 3rd single and 3 at-bats.
And that's where the caught stealing really hurts, as it erases the out, and Carrillo is now up there with just 1 away and 2 outs. We've now seen a base runner caught in the 4th inning for each team, with Garrett Clarke picking off Anderson at 2nd base in the top half of the 4th, and now we saw Brooks get caught stealing. The 1-0 Carrillo shot right back, right at Anderson in center field. And that'll do it here for the 4th inning. The Oaks still trail 3-2 as we head to the 5th.
Welcome you back now, top 5, and it is in fact Charlie Adamson who's going to be coming into this game for the Oaks, which finishes Garrett Clarke's day. 4 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 6 hits on 3 runs surrendered. So Adamson comes in now, and what are we seeing from Adamson so far this summer, Josh?
Well, actually, Adamson's been one of the most used and one of the most efficient relievers for the Oaks this summer. This will be his 5th outing already. He's had a couple of clean sheets, a couple of outings that he surrendered a run, but his best outing was actually against this Blues team last week, in which he went 2 1/3 shutout with 3 strikeouts. And for Adamson, he's a guy that's not going to blow you away with the fastball, but he'll try to paint those corners and finesse you.
That one's rolled over to Grant on the first pitch, and that goes right through him. There's been an error on Gavin Grant to start off this inning.
That was very un-Gavin Grant-like, as we've seen him do a really nice job over there at shortstop, making the routine play, making the spectacular play, but that was about as routine as it gets, and it went right through the 5-hole.
So Shamela steps in now after Maciel reaches on the error. So take that one inside. Shamela 1 for 2 today with a single. Struck out on the second, singled in the first, came around to score on that delayed steal play with Chase Gallegos on first and Shamela on third. Runner goes. That one shot to deep right field. That one's going to land foul.
We've talked about this before on the broadcast, but with how big of a leg kick Charlie Adamson has, it's pretty easy to swipe bags on him. As we saw Maciel attempt to steal there, had Shamela decided not to swing, Maciel would have had the bag stolen easily, but Shamela fouls it off.
So that one fouled off the hands by Shamela. 1-2 to count to him now.
We'll see if they decide to send Maciel again, who's 2 for 3 on stolen base attempts in CCL play.
Adamson. It's a quick move from Adamson. Has gotten that one over the first. That one just gets past Durfee as Adamson sails that one. So Maciel will advance in the wild pitch.
Yeah, that one just got away from Adamson there. He looked like he probably tried too hard to locate that fastball in a perfect spot. He overthrew it.
So that one misses down. Durfee does a good job of keeping that one in front. Count now runs full to Shamela.
With first base open here, and Shamela being one of the better hitters on this Blues roster, Adamson doesn't need to give in and throw him something perfect to hit. Of course, you don't want to walk him, so try to stay around the corners, but this pitch doesn't have to be right down the heart of the plate.
Adamson delivers. He'll get the strikeout as fastball. I 100% thought that was a strike. Shamela took off for first, and it's ruled strike 3 on the fastball. I don't know if, obviously it's hard for us to see the exact location of the pitch with the umpire and the catcher in the way, but it looked like to me from our angle that painted the bottom part of the zone for strike 3. Maybe Shamela taking off for third persuaded the call in the Oaks' favor, but Adamson gets a strikeout looking against Shamela, which brings Tolley out of the plate, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Clarke. First pitch, off-speed pitch from Adamson, misses away.
Yeah, I agree with you, Austin, on that 3-2 pitch to Shamela. It looked like a perfectly painted fastball on the lower half of the zone, outside corner. It was a great spot from Adamson.
That one misses down.
Tolia is already the team leader in RBIs, and he's got a man in scoring position less than 2 away, looking to keep his double-digit total going up.
That one's fouled back. 2-1 count now. is fouled back by Tolia again. 2-2 count to him now.
It being ahead 2-2 for Adamson with the really dangerous Tolia at the plate and first base open. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go with the breaking ball here. Try to get the chase from Tolia. See if he tries to freeze him up.
Adamson gets him chasing. That one gets past Durfee. The drop third. Durfee will fire to first. Nice play by Ganus there as that one crossed over the head of Tolia as Ganus was set up outside the first base bag, and Durfee fired it inside just to hurry and get the throw down there. So it's back-to-back strikeouts now for Adamson, but now Maciel stands on third with Chase Gallegos in the box, who's had an RBI single in the first and then grounded out on a pitch off the end of his bat to Clarke in the third.
That was a really good 2-2 breaking ball from Adamson to get the chase from Tolia there.
Adamson misses down. Durfee keeps it in front. Lost it there for a second on his feet.
And an underrated play on that drop third strike was the catch over there at first by Tyler Ganus. Like Austin said, that throw from Durfee actually cut across the runner. I thought it was going directly into his back, but Tyler Ganus had to have lost sight of it for like a split second, and he was still able to make the catch on the rocket from Durfee.
Anderson gets a swing and a miss downstairs. 1-1 count now to Gallegos.
You saw Gallegos nab a guy stealing in the bottom half of the fourth. He's just played some pretty nice defense today.
He'll chase that one down as Durfee will swallow that one up on a beautiful pick there. 1-2 count now to Gallegos.
That's now twice this at-bat we've seen Brendan Durfee save Charlie Adamson. And the first one was on the spiked fastball, which is more difficult to block than that 0-2 breaker.
Adamson delivers a 1-2, gets another chase. Durfee much easier throw on that one, so technically 4 outs that Adamson gets there in the top half of the inning after the error from Gavin Grant to start things off. He gets Shamela looking, Tolia chasing, and Gallegos chasing. So he retires the side on strikeouts. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. While we're away, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, hit the notification bell. We'll be back for bottom 5. Cameron Maybe still on the mound. Welcome you back now. Bottom 5, Gavin Grant steps in. He had the RBI sac fly, which could have been extra bases in the first. Then he hit an absolute bullet to the shortstop back in the third. So Gavin Grant could arguably be 2 for 2 with how well he's hit the baseball today, but he's 0 for 1. Now he's behind 0-2 in this count.
Yeah, Grant trying to shake off the error that he made in the top half of the fifth.
Oh, speed pitch from maybe. It's bounced. Still action in the bullpen. Up to this point, we still think it's Kevin Lyons. Have not yet to see a number again. As Grant gets his knock.
A much-deserved base knock for Gavin Grant to lead things off here in the fifth. Good swing there on that one. And for Cameron Maybe, he has thrown quite a few pitches here in this one. He's over 60 here. They're about to be at 70 with nobody out in the fifth.
And I just got visual confirmation. Kevin Lyons still in the bullpen warming for the Blues. Brendan Durfee steps in now. He's 1 for 2 today.
Be the 75th pitch of the day for Maybe.
That one gets the outside part of the plate for strike one on the fastball from Maybe. Durfee had the broken bat single in the first, and then he just kind of got jammed on one in the third that he pushed over to third baseman. So check on Grant.
Yeah, for Durfee, it was two very similar swings, and one of them ended up dropping in for a hit, both times getting jammed on inside fastballs.
Grant goes. Durfee hit and run. Grant will round second. He'll head to third, but he'll retreat as that one just barely got through. But what a beautiful piece of hitting there from Brendan Durfee, as we saw Grant on the move, and I was literally just about to say Grant 8 for 9 on stolen base attempts this past spring at Oregon, as he went there and caused C.J. Maciel to go to second base to cover with the lefty up, and Durfee just pokes it right through that hole vacated. And so it's now 2 base knocks for Durfee, 2 runners on, nobody out for the dangerous A.J. Salgado, who's 1 for 1 today with a walk and a single that he came around the score on back in the third.
And Salgado, the team leader in RBIs.
That fastball apparently gets the outside part of the plate. Salgado doesn't seem to like it.
Yeah, for AJ, he's gotten his fair share of opportunities being up there at the top of the lineup, but he's got another one here trying to pad to that RBI total.
Oh, and this is down 1-1 now. It's Salgado. Salgado against Maybe today. 5-pitch walk and then a 5-pitch single.
Seeing the ball well today, like he is most days.
That one just misses away.
Might have been a makeup for that first pitch that looked out, because that looked like a perfectly painted fastball there from Maybe.
It's a fair statement from you, Josh. 2-1 now to Salgado. He'll foul that one back, just underneath that one. 2-2 count to him now.
This pitch will drive Maybe's pitch count over 80. So we'll see when they decide to go to that bullpen.
Salgado rung up on a fastball on the outside part of the plate. He didn't like the call.
Yeah, that one was more away than that pitch called that second ball, but this time it was called strike 3.
Bring Colin Hynek to the plate now. Hynek today popped out in foul territory to the catcher and then had a well-hit RBI double back in the third. And Gallegos is going to go talk to Maybe now to make sure they're on the same page on signs and make sure Gavin Grant isn't swiping third base.
We should yell at Colin Hynek right now to let him know that Freddie Freeman did indeed pick up that knock, so his prediction is already wrong.
He did get a hit after you guys lied to me and said he had one earlier.
He's now 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a knock. Hynek's also 1 for 2.
It's early on that breaker from Maybe.
It was a great piece of hitting last time out from Hynek. Getting an inside fastball, getting his hands inside and ripping it down the third base line for an RBI double.
Hynek crossed up there on the second pitch. Almost looked like a cutter there with a little bit of run and fast enough to be a fastball. And so Hynek got crossed up. 0-2 now. He falls behind in the count. Foul that one off the plate.
It's 3 straight breaking balls here to be in this at-bat to Hynek from maybe first 2 dropping him in for strikes. This one looking for the chase from Hynek. And he gets it, but Hynek's able to get a piece of it and stay alive.
Grant breaks for third. Hynek fouls that one into the Oaks dugout. Grant got a great jump there. He would have been safe at third.
Yeah, he would have. And that's another breaking ball here to Hynek, who's now seen 4. They saw him turn on that fastball his last time up and just decided to stop throwing them to him. That's 4 breaking balls to start this at-bat. See if they change it up here. Still ahead 0-2.
That one misses up, gets off the glove. Gallegos. Grant will round third. He'll stay there, but now there's 2 runners in scoring position for Hynek in the form of Durfee and Grant, both as ducks out on the pond over there.
And they did change things up there and go with the first fastball of the at-bat. And it's almost like it caught, not only did it catch Hynek, but it got the catcher Gallegos surprised as he wasn't able to squeeze it, and it got by him to the backstop.
Infield in now with only 1 out. 2 runners in scoring position. Hynek tardy on the fastball. He goes down on strikes.
It's back-to-back really big strikeouts from Cameron Mabey, whose day is nearing an end, but he's continuing to mow guys down out there.
Charles Masino steps in now. He's 0 for 2 today. Fouled out to the third baseman and then grounded out to second.
And this first pitch to Masino will put Mabey at 90 pitches on the afternoon.
Masino swings and misses on what looks like a changeup on the outside part of the plate. Just get a piece of that one on the outside part of the plate. 0-2 count now to him.
So since giving up back-to-back hits to begin the inning, Mabey's done a really nice job of settling in with the back-to-back strikeouts, and now the 0-2 count of Masino.
Masino pops that one foul over our heads.
Have to wonder how many batters Mabey's got left in him with the pitch count nearing 100.
Count remains 0-2 to Masino. So rip that one foul to the right side. Seems the Lions is just waiting now in the bullpen as he stopped throwing.
I mean, this inning, Mabey's only throwing strikes. He threw 1 ball to Grant, a couple balls to Salgado, and 1 to Hynek. That's it.
Masino jammed. He'll pop that to the third baseman, McGuire, and he'll squeeze that one. So working in out of trouble is Mabey as the Oaks unable to score a run after 2 leadoff singles. Oaks still trail by a score of 3-2. We'll take you to the top of the 6th.
We welcome you back here for the top of the 6th inning as the Oaks trail the Blues 3-2. Charlie Adamson is out there for his 2nd inning of work. It's a really efficient first. It was a leadoff error, but then he struck out the next 3 guys. As he'll now face E.J. Kreitzman, who's already struck out a pair of times today in a couple of at-bats. Already behind in the count 0-1. Kreitzman swings through another.
And Kreitzman struck out looking in the first, and then his strikeout swing in the third was on a foul tip that Durfee squeezed.
Adamson looking to sit him down for the 3rd time today. And Kreitzman hits that to right field. Masino on the run. He'll make the catch. That'll be the first out here in the top of the 6th. It was a good pitch there from Adamson and a really good swing from Kreitzman to go down and get that breaking ball. It was a nice play on the run there from Masino. Which brings up Aiden Anderson, the center fielder. He's reached base in each of his 2 plate appearances today, singling back in the 2nd and then walking, although his walk was taken away as he got picked off at 2nd base.
Teammates telling him where that pitch.
As he should have a breaking ball inside on the first pitch. No need to move out of the way. And that one's chopped down the 3rd baseline. Fair. It gets by Salgado. That'll be a single. Heading towards 2nd. And sliding in there safely is Anderson. Showing off the wheels and picking up a double, his 2nd knock of the day.
Yeah, and that was just a tough one for Salgado to try to get to, and Anderson just flying out of the box gets in there with a double.
Yeah, Anderson's shown off his wheels a lot today. Scoring the run on a single, taking a couple of base hits away out there in the outfield with the range. It's been a really solid day all around for Aiden Anderson. Garrett Brooks is now up there. He takes a first pitch changeup in there for a strike. First time we've seen Adamson go to that. Brooks is 1 for 2 on the day. He singled in the 2nd inning and then rounded out. And that one's in the dirt. Great stop back there from Durfee. That was just a fastball spiked, and Durfee does a great job of keeping it in front of him. The day is most likely done for Cameron Mabey of the Blues, who turned in 5 innings of just 2-run ball, in which he allowed 10 hits, but the Oaks just haven't been able to pick up the hits when they need to, as that one's chopped off the foot of Brooks. 1-2 now. For Adamson, those strikeouts last inning gave him 8, 9, and 10 on the year, becoming the 4th Oak to reach the double-digit strikeout mark on the season. So looking for another. Here comes the 1-2 to Brooks. It's fouled. Darius Price is on deck. He's reached base in each of his 2 plate appearances today. There's been a lot of hits in this ballgame with just 5 runs to show for it. We've got 17 hits on 5 runs today between the 2 teams. A lot of guys left on base, as the Blues have left 4 men on through 5, and for the Oaks, it's a pretty bad figure of 7. And that one's grounded to Brooks, who makes a great stop and throws out the other Brooks at first for out number 2.
Beautiful play there by Jack Brooks. Went to his backhand, and he was about to quick throw it, but he took his time, gathered, to make a perfect strike to Tyler Ganus at first.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been potentially a hit for Brooks, but Jack Brooks takes away the hit from Garrett Brooks on a nice backhanded play. And the 9-hitter, Darius Price, is up there. He singled and walked today. And he'll take the first pitch at the knees for a strike. Adamson's done a nice job of living in the bottom half of the strike zone. Not trying to give these Blues hitters too many pitches to hit. That one misses upstairs. 1-1 now. Price has been struggling a bit this summer, but the Blues know what he can do at the plate. We saw him in the 2 spot last time we faced him, and he's very capable with a bat in his hands. Just because he's in the 9 spot, the Oaks shouldn't be fooled, as he's already shown today with a couple of quality at-bats. Adamson has Price in a 1-2 hole now. He misses up. Couldn't get on top of the breaking ball.
Looks like Michael Stanford's going to begin to warm in the bullpen for the Oaks now.
Yeah, Stanford, really the only guy with multiple innings on this Oaks team that has 0 ERAs. It's a great stop back there from Durfee. And Adamson told him so as well, dapping him up there. Now it looks like Durfee might got some blood on his lip from his mask.
It might be his chin. And the end of the season for Cal Lutheran in the regional that they played in, Durfee took a foul ball off the top of his mask and it ended up gashing his chin open. It wasn't a pretty one, so maybe
It's probably what it is, yeah.
knocked the cut back open.
Yeah, it did look like he was touching his chin. Here comes the 3-2 to Price. It almost drops back in there for a strike, but Price is on for the 3rd time today, his 2nd walk in as many plate appearances.
Adamson wasn't happy about that one.
No, Adamson started to walk off the mound there, but he didn't get the call. He also didn't really get on top of the breaking ball. So not surprised to see a called a ball as Price reaches base. Price is 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go with 1st and 3rd and 2 down. But it is the top of the lineup. See if they let him hit Connor McGuire. McGuire swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. Out of play on the right side. Was a strike there from the home plate umpire. He threw that from almost the backstop.
Yeah, Durfee just looked at him like, okay.
Yeah, I don't think any of us were expecting that.
Umpire's got that dad strength. Hear his kids keep calling for him downstairs.
Yeah, we see him talking in between innings. There goes Price, and McGuire fouls it back. Durfee didn't even make an attempt towards 2nd there. Obviously that pitch was tipped, but we saw Durfee's body movement go towards 3rd base. So it doesn't look like there would be a throwdown even with Price going.
Yeah, Jack Brooks didn't even make an effort to cover 2nd there.
So the 1st and 3rd play that the Oaks got on right now is just prevent defense, basically, where they won't give up the ball to 2nd to make sure that the run doesn't come in, which makes sense in a 1-run ballgame in the 6th inning. As Adamson spikes that one. And we do see Michael Stanford throwing now, so it will be him following Charlie Adamson whenever his day ends. As Price goes again, but McGuire strikes out swinging. Charlie Adamson completes his second scoreless inning. And while we're away, don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just hit the like button and subscribe button, Conejo Oaks Baseball. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Cameron Mabey's day is done after 5 innings of 2-run ball, in which he gave up 10 hits and only struck out a couple of Oaks hitters. For Lions, he's been the most used and most productive pitcher for the Blues this summer. This will be his 7th game. Through 11 2/3 innings before this, he'd only allowed 1 run, and that was back in his first outing. So he's working on about 9 scoreless innings in a row right now. He hasn't pitched in over a week, so this will be his first outing in a while. Hopefully the Oaks can touch him up as Chavez takes a ball. For Lions, he's also coming off his season at Chico State, in which he had an ERA of right around 3 in 20 appearances, posting a 1.39 whip in 36 2/3 innings. Chavez fouls that one away. 1-2 now. Lyons is a guy that doesn't walk a lot of hitters, just 12 walks in those 36 2/3. He's got a lot of experience out there, going multiple innings too. We'll see how long the Blues get him for. As that one from Chavez is chopped to first. It's going to be a tough play. Making it look easy over there is Tolia. That was a good PFP between the pitcher and the first baseman, as Chavez is retired for out number 1. Jack Brooks is now up there once again. He's 2 for 2 today with a couple of singles, although he was gunned down stealing back in the 4th inning. And Brooks swings at the first pitch, grounds it to Price at second. It'll be a routine play. It's 2 up, 2 down quickly here to begin the 6th for the Oaks. Once again, Kevin Lyons continues his efficiency as Tyler Gannis' walk-up song got switched on us. I don't hear Monsters University. That sounds like we're all in this together from High School Musical. So, not sure if Gannis played a part in changing that, but it was no longer Monsters University as Gannis is up there. Already 3 for 3 today. As that over-the-top breaking ball doesn't come down enough and it misses for a ball. The arm angle from Lyons was just directly over the top, giving that curveball like some 12-6 action. And Ganus crushes that one to third, but McGuire makes the play, and it'll be a 1-2-3 inning out of the pen for Kevin Lyons, and the first 1-2-3 inning for Oaks hitters. We head to the 7th inning.
I'd just like to say that I think it's because they changed the song. I just told them downstairs as I was returning from the restroom that they changed the song from Monsters University to We're All in This Together, and he gets his first out of the game. We'll be back, top 7. Michael Stanford on the mound now for the Oaks. Welcome you back now, top 7. Michael Stanford on the mound, one of the other guys who grew up locally. Actually went to summer camp with Mike for a couple summers, but what have we seen so far this summer from Stanford, Josh?
Well, Stanford's been arguably the best reliever for the Oaks this season. He's producing 3 scoreless outings, and his most recent one was actually 6 up, 6 down for the pen. So he's been doing a really nice job for the Oaks.
That one gets the outside part of the plate for strike number 1 to CJ Maciel. Will be the first batter who Stanford faces. We'll go beautiful backdoor slider for strike 2 there. That Maciel just looks at. Stanford just finished up a year at College of the Desert.
It's a really good year for him there with a sub-3 ERA.
That one just missing away. 1-2 count now. Stanford delivers a 1-2. Fastball just misses up. They'll check with the first base umpire, and Maciel did, in fact, hold on the check swing.
It was a good pitch there from Stanford on 1-2 to try to get the chase. The high fastball, but Maciel was able to hold up.
Stanford misses away with the fastball. So from 0-2 to 3-2 now. That one's chopped at Ganus at first. It goes foul. Stanford delivers. That one's flying in the right field and drops in front. It's not Charles Masino in right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's actually, I think, David Whittle
out there.
Right.
Yeah, it is. So David Whittle shows off the versatility, primarily a catcher out there in right field right now.
A lot of catchers have got to find room for all of them. That one's fouled away by Shamela, who's 1 for 2 today. Single came around the score in the first and struck out swinging and struck out looking since. And we've now seen a catcher, traditionally a catcher at first, at second, and in right field so far for the Oaks. That one's chopped foul there. Fielded nicely by the third base coach.
Yeah, potentially the Oaks can run a lineup where they've got 4 catchers out there. They could actually go 5 if you include. They can start all 5 catchers. 1 in right field. Cody Sulak plays second. They've all been taking turns over there at first base. 1 of the catchers actually catching, and then 1 at DH. So they could start a 5-catcher lineup theoretically.
Swing and miss by Shamela, so 3 strikeouts now from him in his last 3 at-bats. First strikeout of the day from Michael Stanford.
And that hit there from Maciel was actually the first hit that Michael Stanford has given up this summer. He's walked a couple batters, and those are the only 2 base runners that he's allowed. So for Maciel, picking up the first knock against Stanford this summer.
That one just misses away. Tolia. Tolia 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts.
Very surprisingly quiet day for him. Probably come through here now that we said something.
That one's jammed over the right side out of the reach of Tyler Ganus.
Totally been a nice play over there at first base in the 6th inning on a chopper over there in the 3-4 hole. And it could have been a difficult play, but he made it look really easy, fired it perfectly, hitting the pitcher in stride to retire Chavez.
Stanford misses down, 2-1 count now to Tolia. That one's fouled back. 2-2 count now to Tolia. That one's popped straight up. Durfee settles under it.
I'm honestly not entirely sure how Zach Tolia actually made contact with that pitch. It was a breaking ball that was a back footer going towards his body. I thought it was going to hit him if it kept going. And he kind of just got his hands inside and was able to pop it up.
Yeah, just gets inside that one, saves himself from the golden sombrero. So now Chase Gallego steps in. He singled home a run in the first, grounded out to Clarke on the mound in the 3rd, and he struck out chasing a pitch to end the 5th. So look at strike 1 there from Stanford.
Yeah, that 1 for 3 day at the plate doesn't really begin to tell you how Gallegos has contributed today. He's put some really nice defense out there, thrown out a guy stealing. He's had a nice day.
Runner goes. Throw down from Durfee. Got him. An absolute cannon there from the deputy as he catches Maciel trying to swipe it back. So an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Michael Stanford as he allows his first hit of the summer, as Josh mentioned, but it's erased by the hose from behind the plate of Durfee. We'll take you bottom 7. Carrillo, Grant, Durfee due up. Welcome you back now, bottom 7. Austin Carrillo steps in, trying to get his first hit of the game.
Austin Carrillo no longer coming up to the I Don't Dance from High School Musical. We got Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid.
That one misses up. Yeah, they told me they'd be switching it up after my selections. Carrillo looking for his hit streak to stay alive. It's at 3 games right now. So foul that one back. Yeah, Carrillo had a 4-game hit streak to start the year, and then he was brought in late in a game against the Riptide back on June 15th, and he was retired in that one at bat, and he went on a little bit of a skid after that, where he went hitless in the next 2 ball games. Reached base, though, in one of them, which was against the Blues. He walked twice in that game. 0 for like many against the Foresters. So that one misses up. He lets the umpire know. He doesn't call it a strike. But since then, Carrillo 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a walk in the loss to the Saints on the 19th. 2 for 4 with a run against the Riptide. That one misses up. So his on-base streak will continue, which dates back to the game against the Saints this past Sunday, so he'll reach via the walk. He walked 3 times on Wednesday against the Philippines national team. Gavin Grant steps in now, who's 1 for 2 with a RBI sac fly in the first, lined out hard to third, and then ripped a single in the 5th as he's crushed the baseball so far today. Carrillo goes. It won't matter as Grant gets hit by the first pitch he sees.
So just like the 5th inning, the Oaks have 2 men on and nobody out. They followed that up with a couple of strikeouts and an infield pop-up. They got the heart of their order now with the 4, 5, 6 spots. Hopefully they can come through and tie this ball game up.
A big spot here for Durfee as the tying run stands on second. Durfee 2 for 3 today with 2 singles.
And that last single from Durfee was just a perfectly executed hit and run in which he shot a ball to the vacant hole on the left side of the infield. And we also saw him end the top half of the 7th inning with the absolute hose piece to get the runner stealing.
So runner on second in Carrillo, runner on first in Grant. Durfee shoots that one foul.
Durfee, one of just 3 members of this Oaks roster to hit a home run yet this summer. And he's got a couple of guys out there right now.
So roll that one over to second. 4, 6, 3. So that one's going to be frustrating for Durfee as he rolls into double play. Which moves Carrillo to third. Brings Salgado to the plate, who's looking for some revenge after being rung up in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2 today with a walk, a single he came around the score on, and that strikeout looking back in the 5th.
Yeah, that's how this stretch has gone for the Oaks, this 4-game skid. Getting a couple of guys on with nobody out and one of your best hitters at the plate, and then double play.
And the Blues staff knows that as we'll have a mound visit here, see what they want to do with Salgado. Hynek waits on deck, see if there's a potential intentional walk situation here with Salgado.
Yeah, in this situation, I don't know why you would pitch to Salgado with first base open. And it would also allow force in the middle infield.
Well, you see, it's a tough decision because, yes, Salgado is not an easy out, but neither is Colin Hynek, who stands on deck, who already has an RBI double that he tattooed back in the 3rd. So
yeah,
they are going to intentionally walk Salgado.
Yeah, it makes sense. The CCL leader in batting average, hitting over 500, leading the team in RBIs. There's just no need to pitch to him with first base open. Colin Hynek most likely took that personally. So we'll see if he can come through now.
So now Salgado on first, Carrillo on 3rd. Let's see if Salgado goes. He does. So Salgado says, sure, you want to intentionally walk me? I'll just take second base. And now my buddy Colin Hynek can put a base hit into the outfield, and we're going to take the lead.
And for Salgado, that's his team leading 3rd stolen base of the summer. Is yet to be caught.
Changeup dropped in there by Lyons for strike 1.
It's a lefty going in the Blues bullpen. So the next 2 hitters would most likely be Kevin Lyons to get.
Salgado skies that one out to right center field. That one's going to be caught. So unable to bring across a run again as the Oaks take you to the top of the 8th. Michael Stanford still on the mound.
chasing an off speed. We're back here for the top of the 8th inning after the Oaks had first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning, and were unable to come up with a run. So they still trail 3-2 here with Michael Stanford out there for his 2nd inning of action. He threw 15 pitches in a scoreless 7th, and he'll now face the catcher Chase Gallegos.
Yeah, Gallegos gets a fresh at bat here after he was in the box, and Maciel was absolutely gunned down by Durfee to end the last inning.
It's 2-0 now. For Gallegos, it's a 1-for-3 day at the plate for him. He also stolen a base as well, which is a big feat for a catcher. And Stanford falls behind in the count 3-0. No surprise, we have Tyler Ganus chatting it up with the first base umpire. Ganus loves to have conversations. 3-0 to Gallegos, 4-pitch walk. And that's going to bring up the power-hitting threat of E.J. Kreitzman, who's 0-for-3 today with a couple of strikeouts.
I just saw Zach Duday with his helmet and bat, so my guess is we'll see him pinch hitting in the bottom half of this inning.
Makes sense, as Duday is one of the better hitters for the Oaks this summer. He's hitting at a 350 clip. That one's grounded foul. Good job from Stanford coming back with a first pitch strike after a 4-pitch walk. That one gets Kreitzman. A little bit of a control issue to begin the 8th as Stanford walks Gallegos and then hits Kreitzman. And the Blues now have first and second with nobody gone.
Number 24, Anderson.
See Durfee go and talk to Stanford and talk about a tall mound visit, 6'4", 6'5", just right there on the mound. We'll see if there's anybody who starts to warm up in the bullpen. As of now, it seems they're riding Stanford. Seeing like 5 different pitchers just get up all of a sudden, but none of them walking into the bullpen.
Yeah, it actually looks like they're going to that side area where we've seen guys stretch before they head out to the pen. Anderson's up now. He caught the fly ball in center to end the threat in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Nice spot there from Stanford, and Anderson has been great defensively and offensively today.
Yeah, great day for Anderson, making a couple of nice plays out there in center. He's also 2 for 2 at the plate today with a walk, a run scored, and an extra base hit, picking up a double. He tries to show, bunts this one foul. Now finds himself in an 0-2 hole. It looks like we have a pinch hitter in the on-deck spot for the Blues. Instead of Garrett Brooks,
will be Colin Villegas.
We saw Villegas in the starting lineup last week. That 0-2 pitch is perfect spot to get Anderson looking, and he knew it right away. So that brings up the pinch hitter Villegas.
Yeah, nice bounce back from Stanford after the meeting with Durfee. Walks Gallegos on 4 pitches to start the inning. And on the second pitch of his at-bat, and he goes 3 straight strikes there. The Anderson gets him looking for out number 1.
The pinch hitter Chase Villegas struggling a bit on CCL play this summer. He's just 2 for 11. We saw him start at DH last week against the Blues. The first pitch from Stanford is in there for strike 1. So Garrett Brooks' day is done. Going 1 for 3 with a couple of groundouts. Villegas is listed as a catcher with Brooks playing left field. We'll see if Villegas stays in the game defensively or if the Blues make another defensive change. Here comes the 0-2 to Villegas. Just misses off the plate.
A good spot there from Stanford.
Yeah, I started that on the outer half, and this fastball is just a tiny bit of arm side run. So that one started in the zone and broke off just a bit, as that one's just fouled away. Good battle to stay alive there from Villegas. And the 1-2 pitch is just tipped. Villegas is barely able to stay alive.
Yeah, frustration there from Durfee, too. I saw him punch his glove, as that was one he felt he should have had.
Another 1-2 from Stanford. This one will miss in the dirt. Good stop back there from Durfee. Villegas working a 6-pitch at bat so far. He's got a couple of men on with just one away, looking to do some damage. The 2-2 from Stanford. Misses in. Nice job to hold up there from Villegas. And that'll run the count full.
Yeah, saw Villegas' hands break there for a second, but he holds up on the fastball inside. See if runners may be in motion here with the count full.
The runners hold as that one misses outside for ball 4. The Oaks bench wanted that, but it did look like it missed outside just a couple of inches. And that'll load the bases for Darius Price.
Number 1, Darius Price.
And still, this is still going to be Michael Stanford's game. There's still no movement out to that bullpen.
And Darius Price has yet to be retired today. He's 1 for 1 with a couple of walks, and both walks were in a full count, so he's seen some pitches. As Price watches the first one miss outside.
Yeah, it's been the guys at the bottom of the order who have been getting things done. For the Blues today, Aiden Anderson was 2 for 2 with a walk in his 3 plate appearances before striking out looking.
That Brooks Villegas 8 spot, they've been on twice.
Yeah, and as Josh mentioned, Price on all 3 times, 2 times via the walk. So
Yeah, there's a lot of strikeouts in the top and middle part of the order, but yeah, like you said, Austin, actually that strikeout from Anderson was the first strikeout today from a hitter that lower than 6th in the order for the Blues. As that's a good job from Durfee to catch that one.
yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy just to see when Durfee makes plays like that. I mean, for him to go with his catching arm all the way across his body, where he's up the max extension of that arm, and he just still makes it look so easy. It's incredible.
Yeah, so often, too, we see the ball bounce off a glove when they're reaching that far across, but Durfee's able to hold it in there. Stanford fires a strike in there.
Yeah,
2-2.
That was a beautiful spot with the fastball there. This Price couldn't do anything on it. If he would have tried and swung at that, there's very few results that would have gone well for him. Likely would have resulted in him needing a new bat.
Yeah, a new bat or a new knee if he swung early enough and fouled it off his foot. There's really nothing you can do to keep that ball fair. I was a little worried, though, that Stanford wouldn't get the call because of how quick Durfee popped up to potentially backpick the runner at third. But it was such a good spot, they had to give him the call. As that's another beautiful spot, and Stanford gets the strikeout.
Two beautiful pitches. He goes fastball inside, pinch the inside corner. He goes fastball outside, pinch the outside corner to absolutely lock up Darius Price for his second strikeout of the inning and second strikeout looking at the inning for Stanford and make it 3 strikeouts and 5 outs.
Which brings up Connor McGuire, the leadoff hitter, with the bases loaded and 2 away. McGuire singled and came around to score back in the first. Since then, it's been 3 strikeouts. As Stanford goes with the first pitch breaking ball to drop in there for a strike. Another perfect pitch from Stanford. 0-2 now to McGuire. Stanford's already on the mound ready, trying to work quickly. Gets his sign. Another good stop back there from Durfee. Good catch from Durfee, really. It looked like Stanford tried to go with the changeup. Didn't really have control of it and missed way outside. Didn't really move either. One, two. Fouled into the Oaks dugout.
There's only 2 guys who got up from the bench there. Everybody else just stayed put and was ready to field it. Won't name names, but you know who you are.
Stanford went with the back foot breaker there. And just able to get a piece of it was McGuire. 1-2's fouled away again.
And just got that one too. Tardy on that one, just got a piece of it lunging at it.
Yeah, Stanford's continuing to make quality pitches. As he's already out there on the mound before McGuire gets in the box, he's trying to work as quickly as he can. Here's the 1-2. Got him looking. And Stanford is fired up coming off the mound. So is this Oaks dugout. A big 0 put up on the board by Michael Stanford. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Oaks trailing 3-2. It'll be a new pitcher in the ball game for the Blues. After 2 innings of shutout ball from Kevin Lyons, it'll be Daniel Marshall from Arizona State coming out of the pen. And he's going to face a pinch hitter. It'll be Zach Duday hitting in the spot. Or it'll be David Whittle hitting back in his spot, coming in to play right field for Charles Masino, who went 0 for 3 at the plate today with a couple of infield pop-ups and a groundout. And now this will be the first AB of the day for David Whittle, the future San Diego State Aztec.
Yeah, you just got a little ahead of yourself, Josh. Just Duday's going to pinch hit for Josiah Chavez up next.
Yeah, and there's that breaker from Marshall. 1 and 2 now from Whittle. We tried to get some information for you guys on Daniel Marshall from our fellow ASU intern, Cam. All we got for you, sinker slider. So there's that slider, and it just misses. Really good spot.
Nice take, too, on a 1-2 count, too, from Whittle.
Yeah, that sidearm frisbee slider is pretty filthy. There's an over-the-top breaking ball that Whittle keeps fair. And that'll be a leadoff double here for David Whittle to begin the 8th inning. Second double for Whittle this summer. And now it'll be Zach Duday pinch hitting for Josiah Chavez.
Number 25, Zach Hendrick.
So it looks like Marshall's got a sidearm slider that he tried 1-2 on Whittle. That time he went over the top with a breaking ball, and Whittle was able to lace it just fair inside the third base bag for a leadoff double. The Oaks have had first and second, nobody out in each the 5th and the 7th inning, and weren't able to capitalize as Duday shows and bunts it foul. This is a big at-bat here for the Oaks. And Duday, who's hitting .350 this summer. He's also the team leader in walks with 8. So Duday's been known to get on. And he's swinging away now. Falling behind in the count 0-2.
Yeah, and you've got to find a way to get Whittle in from second now after a leadoff double, especially in a game that you have 11 hits now and only 2 runs to show for it.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to come through when they've needed to, leaving 10 guys on base so far today. The 0-2 to Duday is chopped off the pitcher. It'll be a hit. Whittle doesn't advance. No harm, no foul for both teams, really, as Duday gets on. And
Yeah,
Jack Brook comes up.
Yeah, it looked like that could have been one that Whittle could have got to third on, but he kind of just froze there as he saw the ball rolling towards him, and he went back to second. We saw the reaction there from third base coach Cody Ramers. He was hoping Whittle was getting over to third there.
Jack Brooks will be bunting in this situation with first and second, nobody out, lefty-lefty. He shows, and he couldn't pull back, so it'll be a strike.
Yeah, and slider there just tailed, and Brooks just tried and lunged at it and missed.
See if he shows again here after missing that first one. Saw Coach Raymer not very happy after that one. But this time Brooks gets it down, and it's perfect. And he nearly beats it, but Marshall gets him out at first, but Brooks does the job.
Yeah, beautiful sack bunt there for Brooks, and like you said, he almost turned it into a single to load the bases for Kyler Ganus, who steps in now.
And the Blues will now bring the infield in, leading by 1 here in the 8th. For Ganus, it's already been a 3-hit day for him. Now he's looking to pick up his first RBI of the ballgame and tie it up.
Yeah, and with the infield in, Duday can get off second. A hit's going to score both those runs.
And he chops that one over shortstop. That's going to score 2. And the Oaks take their first lead of the ball game. Tyler Ganus comes through.
And I watched while Jack Brooks was standing on deck before his at-bat. Tyler Ganus was standing right next to him, talking to him for at least a minute. I don't know if, the Pac-12 experience of Ganus potentially maybe had faced Daniel Marshall before, but he talked to Brooks for a while, and first pitch, Ganus sees. It's a 2-run single, and the Oaks back on top.
That's the 4th hit of the day for Tyler Ganus. And he's looking to pick up his 2nd player of the game nomination.
Nick Rinkover's also up in the pen for the Oaks. Seems like he'll come in to close this game.
And that hit from Ganus really shot a spark into that Oaks dugout, as everyone was up to congratulate Duda and Whittle on coming in, and they were just super hyped with Tyler Ganus. As Ganus takes off, and he'll be in there. Tyler Ganus does it all.
And, it wasn't a very pretty jump from Ganus. He was literally staring at home plate the entire time, and he just knows he's hosed, but just I don't know what happened back behind for Gallegos, if he just couldn't get a grip on the ball, but making now a stolen base on the day with the 4 hits and 2 RBIs for Ganus.
And Marshall threw that one on the inner half. He's not very happy out there on the mound. It's 2-2 now. You can see the body language of Marshall really shift after that hit from Ganus. And 2-2 from Carrillo's lifted to center. And that's a really weird, nice sliding catch out there from Aiden Anderson.
Yeah, he got caught, started the dive, then slid, then was on his knees, and somehow still caught the baseball.
Yeah, luckily enough for him, he ended up where the ball was while he was on the ground, but that could have been dangerous for the Blues. And that was also overshadowed. That catch overshadowed a nice swing there from Carrillo on the breaking ball. And Grant takes a strike. Gavin Grant has looked excellent today at the plate. Sacrifice fly in the first. Line out. He also got a hit and got hit by a pitch as well.
Yeah, his stat line really doesn't flatter him because the RBI sac fly was crushed and robbed of extra bases. The line out to short was crushed. The single was crushed, and then he was hit by a pitch.
And he takes a backdoor slider that doesn't come back to the plate enough. Misses.
Yeah, and Marshall just can't seem to get these outside pitches that we've seen Adamson, Clarke, Stanford, maybe in Lions all hit today.
Yeah.
And he gets it there.
It looks like he's living around the same spot. He's just not getting the call. I don't know if it's because of that slider. And we got the home plate umpire turning around and yelling at some fans.
Now there's three Blues pitchers that are sitting down in front of the press box. They're probably saying something about the strike zone.
I mean, it does look like Marshall's getting that corner, but maybe just because of where the pitch is starting, the umpire's giving up on it. It's a good job from Grant to stay alive as he fouls it off his foot.
Interesting there too, that there's nothing, rebuttal-wise from a coach in the dugout. To, usually you see coaches protect their players when an umpire says something to them. But I'm sure the strike zone just changed.
And that 2-2 pitch is shot to center. Another good swing from Grant that he isn't rewarded with. But the Oaks take their first lead of the game on a 2 RBI single from Tyler Ganus. We head to the 9th inning. The Oaks 3 outs away from snapping their 4-game losing streak.
welcome you back now as Nick Rinkover on the mound, trying to get 3 outs to get the Oaks their first win in a while, as they've lost 4 straight. Their last win actually came against these Blues up north in San Luis Obispo, and so Rinkover in here to try and get his first save of the summer. And so Zach Duday is going to stay in the ball game, as we're going to see him play left field for the first time this summer. So we see Duday in left, Whittle in right, which we haven't seen at all this summer. Everybody else remains the same. Durfee, the first catcher to go a full 9 this summer. Ganus, Salgado, Grant, Brooks remain your 4 in the infield, and Carrillo still occupies center field. So definitely the most guys we've seen go full 9 this summer. And so taking the lead in the 8th on the 2-run single from Tyler Ganus. And it's going to be 3 not-so-easy outs with the 2-hole, 3-hole, and 4-hole due up with C.J. Maciel first. So he'll take the changeup down from Rinkover. Rinkover getting his first action in quite a bit of time. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he pitched in the Santa Barbara loss last weekend.
Yeah, that was his most recent.
He gets the slider in there for strike 1. Rinkover's been itching the pitch. He's become a neighbor to us on the bus rides, and he told us yesterday he felt good, but here he is today. So he misses inside with that one. 2-1 the count now.
Yeah, for Rinkover, he has yet to have a clean outing. He pitched against the Saints almost 2 weeks ago now, where he went an inning and gave up a couple. And in his last outing against the Foresters, he went 2 innings, 1 run.
And the fastball misses away. 3-1 count now to Maciel. That one's rolled over, foul. Count now full. Rinkover delivers 3-2. That one chased by Maciel way early on the changeup, it looked like, as he'll roll that back into the Oaks dugout.
We'll see if Rinkover can try to replicate that pitch. It was really nice to get the chase.
It's always interesting to see what guys do in the dugouts in a situation like this. 3-2 count, Rinkover delivers. That one shot in the left field will be a leadoff base knock on a flare single from C.J. Maciel. And I say that because everybody is sitting except for Alexander Rivas and Evan Gray, who are throwing the baseball at the stealing and just catching it. There's still somebody down in the bullpen who I'm still completely unsure who it is exactly for the Oaks. I think it may be Andrew Lucas, because I can see a 3 with his back bent over right now. Shemaya squares to bunt. Shemela, my apologies, as that one misses down as he pulls back. Shemela, in his 5 at-bats, singled, came around the score, strikeout, struck out looking, strikeout. Squares to bunt. He'll get the bunt down back to Rinkover. He'll fire to second. Eats up Grant, which allows Maciel to go to third.
Yeah, it was the right decision for Rinkover to go to second there. And a good throw would have gotten Maciel. Unfortunately, he threw it into the dirt, and it was kind of an in-between hop, really difficult for Grant to handle.
And Dave Solis has come out to talk with the home plate umpire. I don't know if he's asking if the ball went off maybe the foot of Shemela or if his foot when he squared was outside the batter's box. But now First and third, nobody out, with Zach Tolia into the box, who's 0 for 4 today. Rinkover has some trouble to work out of.
Not exactly the guy you want to see for the Oaks.
Rinkover drops a slider in there for strike one.
As we've mentioned throughout, Tolia is the team leader in RBIs, not only in CCL play, but overall in the season with 18.
Fouls that one away. Rinkover gets ahead in the count, 0-2.
Definitely don't need to throw a strike here and shouldn't throw a strike here if you're Rinkover. Either that back foot breaker again or a high fastball, but don't want to give Tolia anything to hit here on 0-2.
That one's ripped down the third base line. Make a play over there. Third base coach just absolutely bodied up that baseball. My God.
Yeah, that's a great play. You don't see that effort out of a third base coach, but Rinkover did try that bat foot breaker. He just left it up a little bit too much. Enough for Tolia to hit it foul.
Rinkover delivers. Tolia drives in the tying run. That one's going to sting for Rinkover because that's on his own accord that Maciel comes in because he tried to go to second on the bunt from Shamela and he bounced it on Grant and it just hit Grant in the shoulder and shot into right field. So now first and second, nobody out. Chase Gallegos steps in.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the Blues put it down another bunt here with first and second and nobody out.
Gallegos squares. He gets that down back to Rinkover. He'll just go to first.
He honestly could have had him there at second, but that was a bit of PTSD there and didn't want to make the throw.
Yeah, he checked actually third, then he checked second, then he eventually went to first, and it almost turned into a bang-bang play, but it's going to be a sack bunt for Gallegos. Now we're going to see a pinch hitter as Cody Darcy is going to step in.
Yeah, Darcy actually is second behind Tolia and the team RBI lead.
We recall it was Darcy's birthday when we were back in SLO last week.
Yeah, he's hitting almost 500 in CCL play. Just, I guess, the day off for him.
That swung on and miss.
Yeah, surprised to not see Darcy in the starting lineup for the Blues. Their team leader in batting average, doubles, second in RBIs. But he's up there to hit in a big spot.
Rinkover paints the outside corner with the backdoor slider.
It's a great spot, but I'm sure Daniel Marshall is asking why he wasn't getting that call, as that was very similar to those backdoor sliders that he was throwing.
He gets a strikeout. Darcy with the sword couldn't hold up on that one. So now 2 outs. Aiden Anderson comes to the plate. And he's asking Darcy about that bat, to see if he can get some tips and trying
Center fielder number 24, Aiden Anderson.
give his team the lead heading in the bottom of the 9th. But great at bat there from Rinkover as he strikes out Darcy on 3 pitches. Makes him look silly doing it. The backdoor slider just misses away, so that's what we saw with Marshall when Marshall's teammates behind the plate complain, is that one just unable to break back inside. As Rinkover will step off as him and Durfee has some confusion. Due up for the Oaks in the bottom of the inning is the heart of the order, Durfee, Salgado, Hynek. Beautiful changeup there from Rinkover, 1-1 count now. Rinkover gets Anderson to chase that one downstairs, and all Anderson can do is just chop that one back. 1-2 the count now.
That's such a good pitch from Rinkover. That slider that he's been throwing today. He's been doing a nice job of locating at the back foot of these righty hitters.
Rinkover gets a strikeout, so he works in and out of trouble. The one run does come in to tie the ball game, but the Oaks have a chance to walk it off. Bottom 9, Durfee, Salgado, Hynek, due up. Welcome you back now. We'll go bottom 9, and Zach Crandall is going to pinch hit for Brendan Durfee with the lefty still on the mound to try and limit the lefty-lefty matchup. Salgado will still hit just because of how hot his bat is, and we've already seen the Blues afraid of his bat as they intentionally walked him in his last at-bat in the 7th. Crandall looks at strike 1. It's still Daniel Marshall on the mound. That one misses away to Crandall, 1-1 the count now. Now the Oaks dugout, everybody's standing for the most part. That one misses away, 2-1 count now. And we'll see kind of how things play out. You don't have, the next 2 bats are not guys you play small ball with. If you're the Oaks, see if there's a pinch runner situation. Crandall looks at another ball as Marshall can't find the zone on those backdoor sliders last 3 pitches. 3-1 count now to Crandall. Crandall works the walk. So it's a first pitch strike that Crandall sees, and then 4 straight balls from Marshall. And we'll see if Crandall will stay out there. He is. Coach David Solis comes to talk to Raymer, the third base coach, who will call over Salgado. Crandall will stay in at first. Hynek still, at this point, will be on deck to hit.
And this will very likely be the last hitter for Daniel Marshall, as he'll get the lefty-lefty matchup with Salgado, but the righty Hynek on deck and a righty in the pen for the Blues.
Inside slider. Salgado ducks out of the way of that one. May have been a little bit of a sell job there from Salgado to get the call, but 1-0 count to him. 5 straight balls now from Marshall. Salgado rolls over that one to the right side. It'll get foul. The Oaks probably would have been okay if Salgado grounded out there because Crandall would have then been in scoring position, still with only 1 out. We'll see if Whittle's going to hit following Hynek. He does have his helmet on, so I'd presume so. Salgado gets hit. So now you got first and second, nobody out. Colin Hynek stepping to the plate.
Yeah, Marshall just couldn't locate the slider lefty-lefty to Salgado, and that'll probably be the end of his day.
Yeah, it's going to be as we'll see a mound visit. There's another coach signaling to the bullpen for the righty. We'll wait to see who the righty is.
And they'll probably pinch hit for Hynek and maybe use somebody to bunt unless they're comfortable using Hynek to bunt.
Well, while we wait to see the name of the pitcher, I just saw Jacob Shart come out with his helmet and batting gloves, and it's going to be Shart who they'll put in as he'll play the small ball, because obviously, you know, you're not going to ask Hynek to bunt here. But we're waiting to get the name and number of the new pitcher. So Shart will pinch hit for Hynek for sure.
Number 12 is on the mound. It'll be Luke Mistoni.
So Mistoni will take the mound.
On the mound, number 12, Luke Mistoni.
Mistoni out of Cal State Fullerton will be greeted by his Cal State Fullerton teammate Jacob Shart once the at-bat happens here. So as a reminder, Crandall pinched hit for Durfee to start off the bottom half of this inning. He worked the walk. Salgado stayed in. He got hit by a pitch. So first and second, nobody out. They take out the lefty because they don't want him to get any more trouble after walking a guy, hitting a guy, and then with a dangerous bat that the Blues saw leave the yard in San Luis Obispo. And actually we're going to see another change as well as Jackson Lapiner's now out, as I believe he's going to pinch run for Zach Crandall. So they'll put the fleet-footed Lapiner on second. So he'll be on second. Salgado will be on first. Shart's going to step into the box. Whittle will bat after Shart. Still only 1 out, still no outs, my apologies. And Luke Mistoni, who just finished up his first year at Cal State Fullerton, has quite the case scenario for him to handle here.
Yeah, and Mistoni actually last pitched last weekend against the Oaks, in which he went 2 1/3 inning, giving up a run and a few hits. But that was the only outing in which he's given up a run this summer.
Number 17, Jacob Shart.
Obviously, Shart's up there to bunt. See if he can get the job done.
Shart steps in. Doesn't square yet. Little check on Lapiner at second. No throw, though.
Well, that was really just to see if Shart was bunting, just to get a confirmation, so that way maybe the Blues can run a sick bunt play, try to get the lead runner.
Shart squares, gets the bunt down. It's a beauty. Perfectly placed bunt from Jacob Shart, and the first person who's going to be out of that dugout to high-five Jacob Shart is Colin Hynek.
Yeah, that is perfect execution from Shart, and yep, Colin Hynek's first one out there. The rest of the team not far behind, giving Shart his props.
And I mean, of course Hynek wants to hit in that situation, but I bet you Hynek's been told to bunt like no more than 5 times in his life.
Why would you tell Hynek to bunt? He'll just hit a bomb.
Exactly. So Whittle will step in. Not exactly sure what's going on here, but Gallegos is trying to talk to his dugout. So the young high school graduate has the chance to win the ball game for the Oaks. Lapiner on third, Salgado on second. He'll look at the slider away for ball one. Whittle crushed a double in his one at-bat since coming into the game.
And they're going to be very careful in this at-bat here, pitching to Whittle with first base open, as they'll throw probably breaking balls and throw around him.
Umpire will stop the game here to talk to one of the Blues coaches after complaining about that call. Slider that was well outside. Whittle just laughing over there because Whittle, a catcher, obviously has a great pair of eyes on him. We always see how disciplined the catchers are. 1-0 to Whittle now. The fastball gets the zone for strike one. 1-1 the count now. Heard some rebuttals from the Oaks faithful on that one. I think just poking fun at the Blues coach because that was definitely a strike. Whittle chases the slider away. 1-2 count to him now.
As expected, fair share of breaking balls with first base open to Whittle.
One, 2 count to Whittle. The young man out of Valley View High School. Look at the slider away, and that one's going to get away from Gallegos. And Lapiner's just going to walk in. The Oaks walk it off. Erase the losing streak. Colin Hynek just ran out with the Gatorade bucket. He went to go throw it on Lapiner, and it slipped, and he just totally soaked Zach Crandall. The Oaks win by a score of 5-4. Your player of the game is once again Tyler Ganus. Disney Day reigns supreme. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock as the Oaks hosts the Academy Barons.